This thing is huge. Man, that's a big one. Look at this Sprinter, also has a extended top on it. Nevada right there. There's that extended top again. Looks like something you get out of Canada. Look at this one. They got a trailer and some float boards. You can get a Sprinter and pull an Airstream behind it, a small Airstream. There's one for sale at the Ford dealership right there. Ah, they got another one. They got a second one for sale up there. It's not really a Sprinter van, it's just a jacked up 4x4 high top van. Wahoo! Auga! Wahoo! Look at that foggy forest. Beautiful. Look at that tiny little Airstream. Look at how beautiful that view is. There's two Sprinter vans right there at Brays Point on the Oregon coast. You can look it up. Where's Brays Point? It's next to Bob Creek, south of Yachats, Oregon. There's a huge Sprinter van down in that parking lot, white one. I say huge, it's very long. Look at it. Look at how long that thing is. Here's a couple more at Cape Perpetua. That's a huge one there. There's Cape Perpetua Visitor Center. If you've never been there, it's one of the best places on the entire Oregon coast. We're in Yachats, Oregon. I'm being stalked by a 42-foot Class A. Ah! Newport, Oregon. There's a little Volkswagen going back in time. Here's the Newport, Oregon, Oregon Coast Bridge, Yaquina Bay, Yaquina River. They also have the Yaquina Lighthouse up here. Pretty awesome. Everybody owns an e-bike now. Nobody likes to pedal their bikes anymore. Or they fake pedal, you know, you pretend you're pedaling, but the electric battery's doing all the work. Hey, I rode my e-bike 1,000 miles and I'm still fat because you didn't get any exercise. Don't run from your problems. Stop running away from your problems. Now there's two of them running away from their problems. I've seen people turn vans into motorhomes, ambulances into motorhomes. I've never seen anybody turn a garbage truck into a motorhome. I've yet to see anyone who turned a garbage truck into a motorhome. I can't believe there's an actual person actually walking. People turn buses into motorhomes. They even try to turn a car into a motorhome. I seen a lady living in a neon car, a little tiny neon, full time. But I have yet to see anyone turn a garbage truck into a motorhome. I even seen a guy turn an old fire truck into a motorhome. But never a garbage truck, not yet. Oh, look at all those. That's a whole parking lot full of Sprinter vans for sale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, there's 10 to 12 Sprinter vans for sale right there in Newport, Oregon. Wow. I'm sure they're just cargo vans. You'd have to, you know, put the stuff in and rebuild them up, but they must have just got those in because they weren't there a couple weeks ago. I have seen people turn security guard trucks into motorhomes. Boy, look at this from the 1960s. Look at that old camper. Wanted to show you this classic milk truck here. They got all fixed up. They got it jacked up high too. I've seen people change FedEx trucks and bread trucks, old bread trucks into motorhomes. Up around here you got a lot of surfer dudes who are in Sprinters with their surfboards up here in north of Newport, Oregon. You buy one of these on the Oregon coast for only $35 a year. It gets you in almost every single thing off Highway 101 from Astoria to Brookings. This thing saves me hundreds of dollars a year, $35 one time a year. I'll take you up to see the lighthouse. There's a list of all the state parks that get you in, but I'm telling you, it gets you in every local thing in every city because I live here and I use this. Throw it on the dashboard. You never get a ticket, ever. So it costs $7 to get in here, but today it'll cost me nothing, $0. I've already been here 10 to 15 times this year. So I've saved over $100 just by buying this, just at this one lighthouse. Pardon me, do you have any Grey Poupon? Thing I love about Oregon parks, as soon as you pull off the highway, you can hear the birds chirping immediately, and it's quiet and calm. Nope. I don't have to pay. Howdy, howdy.
You guys are good.
How we going, buddy?
You too.
Oh, it's you, Mr. Bond, James Bond. Go ahead and just drive on through. There's the ocean off the Oregon coast, north of Newport. Looking good today, baby. The beautiful lighthouse. Very beautiful. Yaquina Head. There's two lighthouses in Newport. One's Yaquina Head, one's Yaquina Bay. And how appropriate, there's a nice Sprinter van right in front of the lighthouse. Look at that. You could be in that Sprinter van enjoying life instead of in your $600,000 house paying taxes. Or you could be in this van bird watching. That person's from Pennsylvania. I wanted to take you up here where you can see all the way across the Newport, Oregon on the beach. I'll give you a better view here in a little bit. I actually just came up here to eat a healthy salad. Look at all those healthy greens and beans and carrots, and there looks like some blueberries and tomatoes in there. I just talked to that young guy in that Sprinter there with his girlfriend. They just started living in a Sprinter 2.5 weeks ago, and they've been to like 3 states already. And I gave them some pointers on how to travel. All right, happy campers. $38 gas. Oh yeah, baby. Lucky I'm a multi-billionaire like Donald Trump. Now that wasn't nice. Well, lucky I'm a multi-hundredaire. I can tell you publicly, I have several $100s. Sounds funny, huh? Yes, I have several $100s. And the President of the United States has several billion. And Elon Musk has several $100 billion. But that's okay. They're trying to get all us, you know, $19 an hour jobs at Amazon. It's okay. Here's all those Sprinters at this parking lot I was telling you for sale. Here, I'll come back. I'll swing back through and show them to you. Here we go. Yes, I'm starting a cult. A Sprinter van cult. I'd like to buy 10 of your Sprinter vans today for my followers. $2,025 brand new Sprinter vans. Wow, they just got those in. Check them out. Even the windshields are clean. Whoa. That big old Sprinter van there is for sale. Oh, that's huge. There's an old high-top van. Look at how tiny this little trailer is. That's what people are going for now today. That guy living in that Sprinter van went down to the beach and took a shower, just jumped in the ocean. Nothing will clean you up faster and better than salt water. Look at those people that sell wood to this place. They need a forklift, they sell so much wood here. I bet they make a fortune selling wood here. Another one of those tiny trailers. There's a Sprinter, another Sprinter camping. Another small tiny trailer. Geo Pro it's called. Another tiny trailer. That's good for America. I mean, it's good for people because they're downsizing, but it's bad for America as far as capitalism goes because people are only buying $15,000 trailers now. There's another one. There's another one. The Sprinter van in the middle here. Looks like a sweet setup. Now here's another small one, just pops up into a hard top tent. That's really a Class B motorhome, but it's kind of like a Sprinter van. See, people, that tiny little thing there? That thing's like 20 years old, but that's what people want now. There's another small pull along there. Another small R-Pod. This thing is 48 foot long, look. Man, that thing is like a dinosaur. See how easy it is just to put a Sprinter in there and then everything you need is inside the Sprinter. Class B van. Another Class B van, newer, more modern. Another Class B van. I never did get any B's in class actually when I was in school. I got all D pluses and C minuses. There's a little bubble top there. The teacher told me, you'll never amount to anything in life with those kind of grades. I said, that's okay because I'm just going to go camping instead. I wanted to show you how huge this yellow camper is here. It's an old school bus. Oh, okay. There you go. You can see that thing from a satellite in outer space. If you buy a school bus from a school district, because they spend enormous amount of money on maintenance on these buses. If you can get one for like 80,000 miles on it, you got a good deal. But on the other hand, on my way to school from the country road, I never sat on the bus and said, you know what? Someday I'm going to turn this bus into my house. There goes a homeless guy. This Sprinter's so big it looks like a motorhome. Walport, Oregon, on the Oregon coast. Walport. This is called Alsea Bay, the Alsea River. A-L-S-E-A, just like it sounds. A-L-S-E-A. I'm told it's one of the best crabbing spots on the Oregon coast. A lot of crab out there. Not a Sprinter. That place is called the Eager Beaver Furniture Outlet. I've always wondered if all the furniture had beaver tooth marks on it. I mean, who would let a bunch of beavers loose inside of a furniture store? God bless America. America's one of the only countries you can drive around aimlessly if you want to and do absolutely nothing and still be 100% safe and secure and prosperous. I mean, as long as you got the cash. This right here, that's what I'm currently traveling in right there. Boy, you know you're in a small town right there. I grew up in small towns and back in Iowa, you know, 50, 60 years ago. But I walk in this small town, there's two people at the deli, no customers. There's two old ladies about 90 years old each sharing a coffee at the one table there. The guy who checked me out was in a great mood. He was like 72 years old, still working the cash register. You know, and that's what life's all about. It doesn't matter where you live or how much money you make. Are you enjoying your life? The life that God gave you to live on this earth with your family. Are you enjoying it, or you live in a big city, you're all stressed out about everything? Now I'm going to show you something that was actually one of the very first Sprinter vans, box trucks in the United States. It's right there, that old milk truck. Remember the old milk trucks? They deliver milk in them. Now he's got to turn that into a hot rod. That's actually the prototype for the first Sprinter van ever. You see old used boats in a small town. I'm telling you, small town life is the way to go for happiness, simplicity, more joy in your life. You go to work, you only have to drive 3 miles to your job instead of 45 miles down in Los Angeles. In a small town, things are usually about 50% cheaper than a big city. I'm talking about you need to buy some houses, cars. They're always cheaper here in a small town. I mean, you're not going to get the fancy stuff in a small town. That house is for sale. I bet that's real cheap. There's the Elks Lodge. There's a mechanic right there. A one-stall mechanic. Here's a new bakery they got. Now this, in every small town, America, it's like this. That's one of the nice things about a Sprinter van. You can just go anywhere and look at all the stuff you want to look at. You aren't going to get the fanciest stuff, but you're always going to get the best fishing holes and gravel roads and the best places to camp and hike for free. Ray's Food Place. It all depends on what you want out of life. You want to spend 50 years getting as much money as you can, so when you're 65, you buy a $300,000 motorhome, travel for 2 years, and then go home and, you die when you're 70. I don't call that living myself. I think that's the worst thing you can do to yourself. Dollar General, that's like Target around here. They don't have a Target, but they do have a Dollar General. Small town living right there. Best place to retire is in a small town. You can walk everywhere all day. Or you'd be like that guy, spend $180,000 on a truck and a trailer. There's a Sprinter tucked in the back of there. See how tiny all these houses were back in the day next to the beach? I like to go around the small towns and look at the flowers. Look at those beautiful red flowers with yellow in the middle. Look at how small that one-car garage is. Then you got the, I call these scrambled egg flowers. They got yellow in the middle. Then you got the people that come from California, tear the house down and build a $3 million house on the Oregon coast. But is it going to make you happier, more peaceful? Is it going to guarantee you into heaven when you die? No, it won't. Governor Patterson Memorial State Recreation Site in Waldport, Oregon. That was a former governor. Oh, there he is now. It's the governor. Governor Patterson, can I have your autograph? There's a $500,000 motorhome. See these tiny little houses? That's what people lived in 80 years ago, right there. Right next to the ocean. And believe it or not, I think young people are going back to the way it was 80 years ago. This is what modern day man wants right there. Could you imagine if that's your house, you could have it paid off in 5 years and live debt-free the rest of your life? It used to be Americans would enjoy a small house and put all their extra money in the bank and a little bit in investments. But today, Americans want a huge house and then give the bank all their money and they have no savings at all. Even though they make like $100,000 a year. And I really believe people who choose to buy a Sprinter van understand that. Just spend half the money and put the rest in the bank so you still get to keep it. The things I'm talking about used to be common knowledge in America 50 years ago. Now we need to take classes on and go to therapy on how to save money? You gotta be kidding me. I mean, where did the common sense in America go? I personally believe there's so much greed in America, even in the middle class. You want the best of everything. You keep your credit score high so you can borrow money on every single thing you own. It's so sad to watch. I was born in 1962, back when a middle-class person, made $18,000 a year. That was a really good wage. And you paid cash for almost everything, and credit cards were almost non-existent except for rich people. And interest on a house was 2%. My dad had a 67 Chevy C10 350 engine. That truck lasted him 17 years on the farm. And he bought it for like $3,000, which was a lot of money back then, but he didn't buy it brand new, no. He bought it in the 70s and it lasted him 17 years. We had one John Deere tractor that we paid $900 for with a bucket on the front, and that thing lasted close to 30 years. So this thing, the more you spin, the happier you will be. That's the biggest lie ever told in the world. The more you spin, the happier you will be. That's not what the Bible teaches. I like driving up and down the Oregon coast. You see a house that was built in the 1940s for like $8,000 by hand, right next to a house that was built 2 years ago for $2.5 million. And the person in the $8,000 house is happier because they've been living debt-free their whole life, and the land that the house is sitting on is worth $1 million now. And they still don't want to sell it because they're happy. They don't care about money. What's one of the top 3 things that causes divorce and breaks up all marriages? Arguing about money. Look at this classic truck right here. Oh, there's a classic station wagon right next to it. Taking a nap.